What's up, guys? It's the Farooqi Brothers back with another Built Different stream. And today we're going to be going through all the things that happened at DC Fandome, well, all the big things, and also give our opinion if the event itself was a success, if it could have been done better, if there's things that could have been changed to be better next year. So we're going to go through some of the big trailers, some of the big features that were shown. But before that, Zion, in a quick kind of few sentences, like, what did you think about this year's DC Fandome? Could it have been a little better? Where do you kind of stand on it?
Yeah, I think last year's it felt a little more like revolutionary. That all right, finally DC has their day to showcase their products or their projects they have in the pipeline. But this year it felt like, okay, it was a little more dragged out than it needed to be. Like, this is like close to like a 3-hour event or maybe a little longer. It could have been cut down to 2 hours. I feel like a lot of just like unnecessary. I wouldn't say unnecessary, but like they threw in extra stuff just to stretch out the time or like how long the event lasts. I think that was really unnecessary. I feel like just obviously the fans are here to see certain specific stuff. I feel like just you can have breaks in between those. Like, all right, you have 3 big events. Let's say Black Adam, Flash, and the Batman, and then you can have your like CW and other stuff in between. But you don't have to like stretch it out. Like there was like at least 25 minutes on, I think Supergirl was just a cast talking about the show, and like, all right, you could have cut that down to maybe 10 minutes or something like that. And things like that where, okay, there are places where they could have brought it back a little bit and it felt a little more streamlined, a little more easier to get through, because at some point you're like, all right, let's just get to the good stuff, because the slower stuff was lasting longer than it needed.
It was a 5-hour basically live stream, and maybe about 5 minutes of it was content that people content that the general audiences will actually feed into. Of course, it's stuff for niche fan bases. But Samir, I know a few times you and me were sighing that, how long this thing is going to last. So, I mean, what did you think about it? You think it maybe dragged a little too long? Maybe it was a little too boring?
I mean, it was definitely unnecessarily long. I mean, I think they spent half an hour talking about how the CW Flash has golden boots now or something, and they kept talking about it over and over. I don't know why. Yeah, there was only a couple like actual big parts that moved the film slates forward, like Black Adam or Aquaman and Flash, and of course the Batman, which is what everyone was waiting for, was like the main part of the whole fandom. So I don't think they should have dragged it out 5 hours just to get to that point. I think it was unnecessarily long.
Yeah, in my opinion, honestly, this should have been a 1-hour event. It should have been even 2 hours. It should be more similar to what Disney does with D23, where they this last year they showcased their Kenobi series, they showcased Marvel, they showcased Star Wars, and did it in sequential order. So people who are just interested in Star Wars stuff can wait till their Star Wars section comes. People who are just interested in their Marvel stuff can wait for that, and then Pixar and what have you. But for DC, they just kept staggering things. So 5 minutes you'll get Black Adam, and then you get 2 hours on the Golden Boots for CW's Flash, and then you're going to get another 5 minutes of Aquaman, and then 2 hours of who knows what else is going on, the Supergirl cast send-off, and then 30 minutes on Smallville. It's like there's so much stuff happening that's not important for the general audience, that I think if you're doing an event like this, which is supposed to impress general audiences to get into your product, I think in that sense DC Fandome kind of failed this year. Not to say last year was much better. Last year actually dragged out 2 days if I'm not mistaken, but at least last year there was a schedule, which I think would have made a big difference in how people would have liked or not liked it. Either way, we are here to distill from that 5-hour event just a few minutes of things that I think are worth talking about, worth discussing, some of the controversial stuff, and of course, some of the good stuff. But let's start with the controversial. And it's going to be the Flash. So let me just bring up my screen right here. Okay. So I'm gonna quickly go through the Flash trailer without playing it. Obviously, I'm just gonna scrub through kind of scenes of it. But obviously, we've talked about this before, how there'll be 2 Barry Allens basically in this movie, who are obviously, maybe one is a corrupted version, maybe one is Reverse Flash in disguise, maybe one is the villain in general. Whatever it is, there's 2 of them. And the trailer opens with Flash kind of going and opening the Batcave for Michael Keaton, and then you get a few look at his new costumes. He assumingly is his house when he was a kid, where his mother died. So you're going through the motions, you're going through things, and obviously this is where I wanted to stop first, because there was a bit of a controversy on social media where whose mask is this? It's just obviously a bloody mask with Keaton's costume in the back and a cowl that some people are saying is Affleck, some people are saying is Keaton, but our own good friend Mr. Eric Davis speculated this is actually Ben Affleck's costume, and actually this movie will feature the death of Ben Affleck's Batman. So Umar, I'm gonna throw this one to you. I mean, what did you think overall about the Flash feature that they showed? But also, what do you think about the concept that they might take out Ben Affleck's Batman through a death rather than a retcon?
Yeah, I think that taking Affleck out. I think I'll start there. Like taking Affleck out, I think that's something that they would obviously work with him on. Like if he wanted an ending to his character, so that he could like kind of exit the whole game that way. So I actually don't think that's entirely a bad idea. I think the movie is just very convoluted. Like there's too many things happening. You're setting up a Supergirl. You have him going back in time to different DCU movies. Then you have him like it's not a Flash movie, and that's like the biggest gripe I have. And I think that the trailer somewhat gave us the visual of Barry Allen. Obviously, like he's a through line still, and so there is like I do think after seeing like even though it's a very small clip, I do think there's a way to make it feel very much about him. But at the same time, it's like it's everything we're hearing, and then the 45-second clip doesn't exactly match. There's so much more that we've heard, and you can tell that they're gonna do that. I don't really see a way they're gonna pull it off. I think visually speaking, of course, the CGI wasn't done, and I mean they said that, and that's something that's like it's not even 10% done. So like we shouldn't. I don't think there's like any merit in bashing that because it's not done. But I think I'm just curious to see. I'm not really interested in it too much, just because like I think that killing off Affleck is a very stupid decision, especially in a movie like this. I don't see that as like a proper way of giving that character a graceful exit. But at the same time, if Affleck, like I'm sure they spoke to him, I'm sure he read the script, I'm sure like they went through like they thought it through. But ultimately, it's like I'm not a fan of like what they're doing. But let's see what happens. I give it a chance. I do think the costume, if the CGI was better, and it will be by the end of it, I do think there's gonna be some like really cool moments and stuff. But as a movie, I think it's gonna struggle, especially when you compare it to in the same event you had the Batman, which is easily gonna be probably the greatest, if not the greatest CBM, probably one of the greatest to ever grace any screen. So when you have that in one shot, I think it just becomes kind of weird. Like one is so convoluted, and there's so many things that aren't like happening properly, or rather they're not. It feels so unorganized. And then you have another movie that's super like organized. They know what they're doing. The intent of like the trailers, every material, like every thing that they're doing is kind of like very. You could tell like it's thought through. So that's kind of what my take would be on kind of everything.
Yeah, overall, I think, Zion, you mentioned before that this actually it might have actually been Keaton's mask, but it doesn't dispel kind of the rumors of how they will exit Ben Affleck's Batman. Obviously, he does not show up in this small, it wasn't even a trailer, it wasn't even a teaser, but it's kind of like a small first look at the movie, but nevertheless, they did show it. So I wanted to talk about this shot right here. Let me just pause it. All right. Of the new Flash costume. Samir, you're the creative guy on the team. So what do you make of this look at the costume? Do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? I mean, of course, it's a little wonky right now just based on the VFX work, but what do you make of it?
I'm going to be honest. I think it's a huge step down from the previous suit, of course. This front shot does look better than the other shots of the suit throughout the rest of the teaser. It kind of looks different from the other suit with the lines. I don't know. Even the cowl looks different, but I don't think it's as nice as the first one. I think it's more closer to the CW one now, just like a step up from that.
Yeah, it reminded me of the
So
CW suit as well.
So you're saying that you like the Wilkinson Snyder one more? That's what you're saying.
Well, yeah, well, Snyder didn't make it, but yeah.
Xian, what about you? What do you make of the suit, specifically that mask?
Yeah, I mean, my first thing just coming out of watching this when it premiered was that something just looks off about the suit. And I know a lot of people on Twitter, online, they zoomed in and it's like the suit is not even fitting onto his face correctly. Like there's like a space between his nose and like the nose bridge of the mask, and it like looks off and wonky. And it's like, all right, even in the scene where he's like standing in front of his house or his like parents' house, the suit looks like bulky in person, but then you have this shot where it's obviously fully CGI and it's much more like streamlined and thinner. So it's like, all right, there's a lot of inconsistencies going on with even the suit itself. And it's like, okay, I know they said that, all right, the CGI is barely done yet. And obviously there's going to be much more visual improvements when the film comes out or even as the future trailers come out. But if for a first look, I felt like this didn't do the job that it should have done. And it kind of left, more to be desired because it's like, all right, yeah, this is a fully CG shot. So it's like, you can only blame the CGI. And I think the design is all right, but it's just that, I don't know, the material or whatever they used to make the suit, it just does not look good in a practical setting. As you saw from the shots prior to this one, where he's actually in costume, or at least it looks like he's in costume, where either it's his face or when he's standing on the street where his parents' house is. So just some shots looks all right, some shot looks bad. I think it's just like those kind of inconsistencies they really need to work out. And I agree with Samir completely that the previous suit was already so perfectly done, but it's like, okay, you want to give him his new suit to like to showcase in his own film. Maybe I want to give benefit of the doubt where, all right, in that scene where his mask is not fitting over his face right, maybe he's in the middle of the process of like having his suit really get made or fixed, or maybe that Bruce is helping him make the new suit and it's still not fully complete, and that's why it's not really fitting him right. If they do something like that, okay, you can excuse it within the story, but otherwise, I was pretty disappointed seeing.
Yeah, I mean, it's worth saying that, of course, this is such a first look at it that the CGI isn't done, the VFX isn't done. They themselves, Ezra Miller himself, admitted that this is not really something that's even close to being finished. So this shot, for example, yes, it looks like a PS3 game, but I think obviously it's going to be more fixed by the time the movie comes out. And also, there's a good chance there's going to be multiple Flash suits. There's at least 3. Just based off the trailer alone, at least 3. And we don't know if actually the 2017 suit is going to show up either. So there's going to be probably multiple suits. And as Samir said before, when we talk about Spider-Man, they have to sell action figures. So if that's the goal, then they're going to have multiple Flash suits. So there's multiple action figures and multiple toys for people to buy and for kids to buy. But here's one of them. One of the, I would say 2 money shots of this trailer where Flash is the full figure. You're seeing the new costume, a little bit of Rebirth vibes, a little bit of Injustice vibes. There's a lot going on there. This does not look like the same suit from the other previous shots, so that's one of the reasons why I said that. I don't know if what the point is. Here's one of the other money shots. Here it is. For all the people who grew up in the 1980s, this is going to be obviously a big moment because that's Michael Keaton's mask, confirming that technically or potentially he's going to be in costume for this movie, or they're gonna do what they've done in like Space Jam and the other movie. The other movie is like Space Jam when they go in the other movie universe, where they're gonna like use scenes of the '89 movie in it. Ready Player One is what I was thinking of. But so yeah, Batman here, and then of course this is the shot that everyone's talking about. I'm just gonna let it play till it gets there, as internet's a little wonky. All right, of course. Let me just bring that playback speed down a little bit. What do you think? All right, yeah, that's the shot I wanted, and of course I messed up again. That's good to know. All right, there you go. That's the shot I'm looking for. So Samir, what do you make of this this shot? Obviously now we're seeing 2 flashes, one with that yellow symbol, a little bit of reverse flash tease, I think, and then you get also an official first look at Supergirl. So what do you think? Like this movie, when you see a shot like this, do you feel like, yeah, this is the movie, I can't wait to see it, or are you feeling less hyped for it?
I'm going to cut her some slack since the CGI isn't completely done, but it doesn't look all that nice. I'm going to say I don't like that he's wearing the spray painted Batman suit. I thought that would just be a teaser that he'd make a new suit or something, but we saw him spray painting the boots or something, so that's probably the same thing going on. I liked your theory that he might be the Reverse Flash, but I prefer it not be Ezra unless he just disguised himself as him. And Supergirl looks all right. I guess she's just there. Just do her. She's just
Yeah.
in the shot.
There's a scene where I didn't show where it shows one Flash, which I think personally is going to be this one. Can you see my cursor on the screen? You can, right? So I think this Flash is actually going to be the one who's taking care of her because it shows that she's in like a body bag, and he unzips like the bag to show her face. The shot is somewhere here, but with my internet not 100%, I'm not going to scroll to find it. So I think this Flash is taking care of this Supergirl. This Flash is our DCEU Flash, the one that we've been kind of focusing on the whole time. And then there was the photo. Do I still have it as a banner here? If I do, I'll just put it. I deleted it. Okay, so there was the yeah, it's not there. So the one where it shows Michael Keaton's costume and the same Flash symbol spray painted on. I wonder if this Flash either hurts or kills, or not, probably wouldn't kill, but he probably would do something to Michael Keaton's Batman to either take his suit or do something, because that same yellow spray paint, I think, is becoming ominous. Now, whether he is the Reverse Flash or not, I'm not sure. Umar, do you have any kind of specific theory on this, or do you have an overall opinion on this kind of direction of the film in terms of how it looks? I mean, what are you making of this specific shot? I think we've lost Umar to technical difficulties. Maybe, I don't know. But Umar, whenever you do wake up, it will be.
I mean, he's standing. They still like they're standing in the Batcave. So the theory that he killed Michael Keaton's Batman, then took his costume. I don't know, it doesn't add up. But it could play into the other shot where we have Keaton's mask and his suit on the floor. It's like blood. Maybe this is where this Flash gets that suit, and then he spray paints it red and puts a symbol on it. Maybe that is a through line for this shot. But I don't know about him killing Keaton's Batman.
I don't know. Overall, Zion, what would you kind of give this trailer as a rating? Like, do you even think it's one of the better trailers, or do you kind of have it half and half?
I'm half and half. I don't think it was too spectacular. And honestly, it's making me more worried for the film. I would have hoped that it would have been something a little more concrete, but like they said, like even Ezra said in the beginning, that all right, this is still really early stuff, so giving him the benefit of the doubt. But honestly, it does look like a mess.
Right. So let's jump from that was the end of the Flash thing. Not too much more happened than that. It was kind of like a small tease. I'm just gonna switch from that into my second thing that I want to talk about, which is let me just pull that up. Black Adam. All right. So for Black Adam, again, this was very short, but I'm just gonna show the money shot here. So obviously you see the crown coming down here as this kind of opened up for some reason. All right, here you see the crown coming down here. You see, as again, the internet's like not great, but so you see the first kind of reveal of Black Adam. Should I go with 360? Is that how we're doing it today? It can never work out. You know, it's Samir's interest supposed to be one that's bad. Umar is on like data in the middle of a forest. So like this it's never gonna be easy.
This is what happens when you don't just use the stills. You're muted, Charles.
I'm muted also. It's one of those days. The money shot is not coming. So and we will wait for it. But Samir, do you have an overall opinion on the Black Adam trailer? All right, this was the shot. So let's see if I can get that speed, the quality up a little bit. All right, we're good. We did it. We did a chat. So this is the overall kind of look at Black Adam. He crushed somebody's whole body. It was just a really quick shot. But do you have any opinions, Samir, on this? Because you're the one who's saying it was going to be one of the dark horses for next year. So what did you think about this small little teaser?
I think it looks great. I think it looks better than The Flash, which was basically the second biggest thing at Fandom. We already saw the shot of him wearing this cloak thing that they teased before. It's nice to see it in color now. I think The Rock, he has the look for it. I don't know about the acting. I don't know if you heard his rap song that he just dropped. Kind of gave some red flags that maybe he's not going to do that well. But overall, so far, it looks great and it looks dark.
Yeah, I agree with that last point, especially that they're really setting the tone strong by him. Just all right, you electrocute and just like disintegrate this guy, and it's like okay, they really want to show us that Black Adam is somebody you don't want to mess with, and if that was the goal, they showed it perfectly. And it's like all right, this guy, he will be a threat to the heroes in the DCEU and to the Shazam League and all those characters. It's like they came out of the gate very strong, and like Samir, I think they did a good job. It made me more excited for this film now than I was before, and obviously it was a much better showing than what they had for Flash.
Did you just call it the Shazam Leap? I've never heard this way of saying the. I know it's my first time hearing it. Did you coin it? Take control of it if you did.
Everybody says that. What are you talking about?
It's my first time in my life. It's also my first time hearing it. But in my opinion, also I think it was a pleasant surprise. I mean, this film has been. Someone made a point that The Rock was first rumored for this role in like 2007. So like that before Dark Knight even came out, he was rumored to be Black Adam, and they were trying to develop a movie with him since then. So the fact that it took this long and to actually get this footage to come out in 2021 with the movie coming out in 2022, I think is pretty wild. But I do think, again, there's a quality difference between this and Shazam. I mean, you could say what you feel about Shazam. I can go either way, honestly. But for this, as far as I'm concerned, I think there is some promise into like what it can be. I mean, also we can completely misreading it, ends up being Venom. So I'm hoping that I'm reading it correctly. So we'll see.
The only way that would happen is because of The Rock. It's like, all right, are they gonna go into his comedic side? Let's hope not. But like Smith said, that does he have the acting chops to play like an actual serious character or not?
Yeah, I don't know. It remains to be seen. So this was really short. This was like honestly almost like nothing, but it was enough to get people hype. Here's like a quick look at The Rock himself. They didn't do a full reveal, and here's him with the costume. Obviously, we talked about the costume last weekend where we were saying that we'll have it. I do have the banner right here where we were talking about how it looks, but now we're seeing it kind of in movie form, I guess. Still not done, obviously, but I do think, again, it looks good. Now, it does look like this is a modern day segment, so I think anything that's in the past, they're gonna like flash back to. I do hope. I mean, this is again hoping for nothing, honestly, because it's not gonna happen. But I do think hopefully The Rock can manage to give us that Superman versus Black Adam fight. Will it happen? Of course not. But can a guy dream? Maybe. And here's one more shot of Black Adam. But overall, I think good. Nothing too crazy there. But yeah, so we talked about kind of how Fandome like could have been better. It was dragging. It was the things they did show. Some people complained that even for like the video game segments, which I'm not gonna spend more than even 30 seconds on, both Gotham Knights and the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. They were announced last year with mini trailers. In fact, last year we got a full gameplay, like 20 minutes of gameplay on Gotham Knights. And this year we got a tiny trailer for Gotham Knights and a small gameplay-ish footage of the Suicide Squad. But honestly, almost little no. What am I missing?
There wasn't any game for Suicide Squad.
No, meaning the trailer was in engine, meaning which the first time wasn't. So it looks like how the game will look like. So if the fact that they didn't show any gameplay, the fact that they didn't announce anything new, it really feel like. And Zion, you said we were talking about it yesterday. We're like, are they going to announce anything new? And I was saying, as the event went on, I was like, I don't think they're announcing anything. Like, there's going to be nothing new. And turns out there was no surprises. Everything that came out was something we already knew was going to be shown. In fact, maybe they cheaped out in a few parts. So
yeah, I think just like a few seconds on the video games, I think it was a huge disappointment because yeah, you're right. You were like, all right, are they going to show something new? Are they going to announce Superman? Are they going to announce even a Wonder Woman game, something crazy? Because like, all right, on the Marvel side, we just got the Spider-Man announcement, which is obviously probably the biggest hyped up video game that's going to come out and related to superheroes. And now with this, all right, you're just rehashing what you had last year, but showing very little. I think just between the two, Gotham Knights, in my opinion, looks much better. They focus more on the story in this trailer than they did in that one. That one, they kind of teased what the story is going to be about. And the Suicide Squad game, a lot of people are saying looks good. I thought it looked horrible. I think it looks so boring. and I'm disappointed in Rocksteady for even going this direction. They could have gone so many ways, and I want to give them the benefit of the doubt because of the games they've made before, but I'm not excited for the Suicide Squad game at all.
I think the only small detail we learned about the Suicide Squad game is that that it's confirmed to be in the Arkhamverse. So, whereas Gotham Knights is confirmed to not be. So that's so both games are not part of the line that Arkham Knight was going on. But like I was saying, DC Fandome, I would honestly probably not rate it as high as I would, and in fact, I would have even rated maybe 2 out of 10 if it wasn't for this last trailer, which we talked about at length before. But I'm just gonna go through one or two nice shots before we kind of end off a little early today. But the last thing I wanted to show, and let's hope my internet doesn't fail me, is the Batman trailer. Do I have it on? Yeah, so there's obviously this trailer, every single shot is beautiful. I mean, even the T looks good, but I think the few things I wanted to focus on was we got a second of Batman's voice, which he's talked before, but this is like him talking to another character.
Yeah, he's also talking to the Riddler.
He's talking to Riddler. So did you like his kind of intimidating voice in this one? Or do you think that maybe it's not it's only a small sample size, but how does it stack up to Affleck or even Bale?
You know, I think for what the scene was trying to convey, I think it was fine. A lot of people were like, all right, in this trailer, you kind of can't hear what he's saying, but there were other versions like the Middle East WB put out a little Batman concise version of the trailer, and you hear what he's saying is he said, "What have you done?" And I feel like the way he's doing it, he seems obviously much more desperate and much more like agitated in his voice. And I think that I like that side of him because obviously this is an early Batman, so he won't be as cool or like as collected as like a veteran Batman would be. So I think just that him like exploding on the Riddler and not having that control, I think it shows well. And obviously you hear that desperation in his voice as well. I think it played well into the character and the version of Batman this Matt Reeves is trying to show.
I agree. I was trying to get one money shot, which again is proving to be difficult, and it might be too difficult. But if this is the shot I wanted to get, which is showing like something that the Bruce Wayne's detective skills kind of at work. But will we have this today? Probably not. As now
You got it, but you didn't pause
it. It's actually pausing at funny moments. Let me
already press pause.
All right, relax. Let me figure this out. Calm. All right, here we go. And I know right now Umar's in a forest or in a jungle, or he's in the vines of Kingdom Hearts land. But I'm not gonna call him. I promise.
Next slide, please.
I'm saying he's just the Phantom at this point. Whatever. It's not even working out. It's literally not working out. I should switch to banner form while we still have a chance. In fact, I will. All right. That was a complete flop. Samir, thank you for being right on this one. I was 100% wrong. I apologize for being wrong. This is your turn to gloat. So what do you have to say?
Well, we all went down with you, so you should have just listened.
Because of his greed and his arrogance, we all went down.
You made him leave. That's what happened.
Umar left. Internet's not working. Why did we even try to stream? All right, let me pull up just 2 money shots, and we will take the L where we see it. Okay, so here's one. Zion, in my opinion, this is my favorite shot of the trailer. Most underrated shot, I think. But this shot of him kind of bringing out, like saving people and going through like the sewers of Gotham or whatever this is. But would you agree with me? This is one of the most underrated shots.
It's definitely one of the best shots of the trailer, in my opinion. You're right. I think just the color dynamic of it, just the cinematography of him from the top view leading all these people behind him. I think it's great. You rarely ever see Batman interacting with so many people like this at once, especially an early Batman where, all right, a lot of these people, they don't trust him at all. And like, we don't know yet what the opinion of the people of Gotham City is for this Batman. So the fact that, all right, they're trusting him, they're following his lead, obviously out of some kind of danger. I think it's great and really does set this Batman apart from the get-go from others we've seen before.
Samir, is this one of your favorite shots, or am I just capping?
This shot, I like the last shot more than this one. I'll be honest. I thought this scene though was nice. That shot of him standing with Lynn Kyle is probably my second favorite shot. Obviously, the last shot of the trailer was probably the best shot. That red shot reminds me a lot of that shot from Aquaman where he's diving into the trench with the red flare. I know you love the trench.
Why did you have to ruin a good thing?
I know you love the trench, so I had to compare it to that.
There was if the way we feel the way now we I'm gonna say the way Umar feels,
we never even talked about Aquaman too.
Yeah,
I know we skipped it. The way Umar feels about Justice League 2 is the way Samir feels with the trench. So if you want to give you guys like a context of this, but this is also I picked this one because this is one of my favorite shots as well. Clearly this is the end of the movie. I don't know, like it's just how the movie's gonna be. You know, the whole movie's in extreme dark and red and moody, and this is the only time where it's like a little hopeful and bright, and Batman's spirits are cheered up because of Catwoman. Very easy to see that theme. So my guess is this is the final shot of the movie. Not final shot, but this is one of the final sequences of the movie. I also think it's underrated. It reminds me of the hallway scene of Rebels with Darth Vader walking out. Again, same cinematographer, so maybe he's using some of his tricks. There's another shot I don't have the picture of, like they show the bullet holes that are still like in the residuals of the bullets that are in his costume. So we talked about this yesterday, but he's like kind of a no nonsense Batman. You know, he's just doing his thing. And I'm getting one more shot for Samir because if we don't accurately reflect his favorite shot, then what's the point? Is it this one? All right. Yeah. So this is actually right side up. The original shot is actually not in upside down. But Samir, you said this is your favorite shot, right?
of course. Too nice.
You're muted, I think.
I said the thing that Ziano wanted to show me. He just hit me up on the side chat to give me this photo. This shows again the way Bruce Wayne does his detective work in this movie. Again, very different from the other ones. He is like sketching out, unless this has to be him doing detective work. So he's kind of putting together like what's what.
Could this not be the Riddler also?
Yeah, I was correcting myself for a second. It could be.
It could, but he has no mask. He has no shirt. So it's like, does the Riddler know who Bruce is? Like, what angle are they going with this? Maybe he's trying to mark the different things. Maybe the clues that Riddler's told him, and now he sketched it out in his own area to see what it's about. I don't think necessarily that Riddler's the one who set this up for him. Because where would he be that he set it up where Bruce would be unmasked in this way? You know,
this looks like the Batcave, and it looks like this is his kind of, you know, forgot the actual term, the detective wall where they put all the pins on pictures and put it all together. The web, you know, the web of photos. So see, all these photos are all over the screen. Sins of my father. So Bruce would be referring to himself in first person. So he's referring to Thomas. Maybe a little Court of Owls tease for the next movie. I don't know. Lot of things they can do here, but I think this is the kind of stuff that Matt Reeves has been promising fans from the beginning of what this movie will look like and what it will be. So overall, good stuff, but I would be remiss if I didn't at least ask you guys if you had to rate DC Fandome from 1 to 5, including with the Batman trailer, what would you give it? Zan, you can go first.
I think with the Batman, it's a 3. Without it, it would. Even though I don't want to be the type of person to say, all right, it was a 5 because of the Batman, because that's just how perfect the Batman trailer was. But like in a realistic sense, because we had to wait through like hours of like almost, I wouldn't say garbage, but like, you know, like unnecessary stuff just to get the Batman, I would say average out from a 5 to a 1, a 3 out of 5. Since the Batman is 5 and everything else is 1.
Samir, what about you?
I'd give it a 3 also. Maybe a 2.5.
Yeah,
how bad everything was.
I would give it 2.5 also. Batman was 2-minute trailer. The event was 5 hours. So 2 minutes, not gonna say 5 hours. So that's where I stand. And don't get me started on Peacemaker. If Umar was here, I'd go longer on it. That show looks ass.
It was so garbage. I'm telling you, I don't know why they keep giving this guy projects. So bad. And like, why are they greenlining it after how badly the Suicide Squad failed?
I mean, this is already shot by the time that.
That's true, but hopefully, you know, like.
I mean, it's going to go well with critics. It's going to be a critical darling, and people are going to be like, oh, very nice and funny. But my God, it's not for me. Samir, is it for you, though?
Not really. It's like The Boys, but worse. A lot worse because all the side characters are garbage. I don't mind John Cena though. He's fine. I think he's
So
fine.
yeah,
And we knew,
he's good.
we knew when we watched this movie, we all came in. We're like, yeah, these pathetic side characters that we've never seen before, unknown characters. They're pushing them so much of the movie just so they're set up for the show, and they just wasted the screen time of the movie for some reason, just so they can have them for the show. And we called it then, and it's obviously coming to fruition now, for good or bad.
If you spin off a movie with the worst parts of that movie, then it's not going to be as good of a spin-off. But I will give John Cena the credit that he was good in the role, but it's not for me. And it was probably the worst in the show. I'd rather sit through the Supergirl cast reunion.
Now you're lying.
No.
Now you're lying. Okay. Nobody's trying to.
Okay. I thought I wouldn't sit through that. Okay, I would sit through the Smallville cast reunion.
I thought for sure they were gonna announce that rumored Smallville like animated series or whatever they're planning. All right, the 20th anniversary, they brought Michael Rosenbaum, Tom Welling back in that little sequence. Yeah, they're gonna announce it, and they didn't. So I guess whatever. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, and don't get me started on that Patty Jenkins Linda Carter 180 thing. I was like, it was a good. I was like taking a nap. Like, all right,
Yo,
but
that
now
just
I'm
kept
awake.
going. That kept going on, and I don't know why.
And you know, they could have made it so much better. Like they could have put more fans, more people from across the Wonder Woman history, writers. But they got like, and this is not Linda Carter. She's great, but Patty Jenkins needs to redeem herself after Wonder Woman 84. So and just I don't know. It insists upon itself.
We didn't even talk about Aquaman. Kind of looks like Aquaman 1 again.
You know, Aquaman, I'll give it. It doesn't look that bad. It looks interesting. Looks bigger scope, but and James Wan said it looks darker, so it does look like not too bad. But I don't know. Overall, if I had to rank it, the Batman like up there, and then somewhere around here is Black Adam. And then Aquaman, then Shazam, and then Flash here, and then the rest is under that. So I'm not gonna pretend and say Flash look worse than Peacemaker. Of course it didn't. So, but yeah, let's do our one funny picture for the day, and then we will head out. So I don't know. Let's talk about potatoes, which is basically still better than Peacemaker. So let me get into it. All right, so we can only pick one form of potato to eat forever. Oh, that's just his favorite form of potato, so I can't make it worse than it is. So, what is your favorite form of potato? Simmer, do you want to lead us off?
I'm gonna go super basic and just go with French fries.
That was very basic.
I haven't even had half of them. I'm gonna be real honest.
I've
not had half or a tater tot.
Wait, you never had tater tots?
Nah.
That's insane because
everyone wait.
Tater tots is my choice. I'll pick tater tots. I think French fries are so overrated, and I'd go the rest of my life without eating French fries. Honestly, I had one bad French fries experience at Universal, and they're like so salty and so bad that it just took me off French fries forever. And then all the countless McDonald's French fries, which for the record has one of the worst French fries ever. I know Samir loves it. I think Burger King fries are better than McDonald's fries, but they're both bad. Don't get me wrong, but McDonald's fries just make me hate fries even more.
Fries seems to be the overall kind of consensus, and you hate fries, so once again you're going against the grain. But I'm just shocked. I'm flabbergasted. I'm put aghast that Samir has never had tater tots before. Isn't that like a very generic thing to have? Have you had hash browns before?
What about the bottom one?
Oh, this scallop.
No, I haven't had hash browns either.
Have you had a baked potato?
I don't even know what that is.
Yo,
Yeah,
they give it a chance. You've had a baked potato. Have you had mashed potatoes?
Yeah, everyone's had mashed potatoes.
Okay. So, all right. My favorite is French fries because, I mean, they're not good for you, but it tastes good. I think hash browns only because, shout out to Jan's for making them well. And then, yeah. What's the worst one?
From the ones you've tried, don't say like scallop because we've
from the ones you've tried. What is the worst?
Let's go with mashed, I guess.
You think mashed is the worst? You only tried 2 of them, so of course mashed is the worst.
Tried 3 of them. Don't worry.
Zion, what's the worst?
I wouldn't by default it's French fries because if I had a choice, I would go for that last.
So you'd rather have a baked potato over French fries?
I don't remember the last time I had a baked potato. Did I even
We've
have
had
baked
it.
Pretty good.
Of course we've had.
Ah,
it. It's good.
then baked potato last.
How could you do this?
My worst is, You know what? Sometimes tater tots aren't good. I'll say that. Once in a while, it won't taste good. But a good mashed potatoes on the side of like salmon, that's good. Like we had it at Mangiano's. So I like that combination. French fries goes with everything. Hash browns is only good at Jan's, nowhere else. Tater tots are okay, but they've been overdone. Scalloped, I don't know, and baked are just, I don't know what. All right, is that? I think if there was ever a better
Man,
moment,
why don't you take a swig of water?
He's taking a swig, but did you get a swig?
Don't worry, I'm yeah, I got it. I'm about to take one right now.
All right, take one for the stream. That's the best way to go out. All right.
Nestle Pure Life water bottle.
You love that.
All right, we got to go save Umar from the jungle. So we'll have to head out. What did you guys think about DC Fandome? If you had a score it from like 0 to 5, what would you give it? And let us know in the comments below. We'll see you next week. From myself, from Zayan, and from Samir and Umar, who's in the vines right now. We're the Farooqi Bros. We'll see you next time. Peace out.